Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you're new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So to start off this video, I wanted to show you guys some new items that I got from Makartt. I got their peel off base coat, and then also I got their cuticle oil. I did talk a little bit about their cuticle oil in my last video, but I'm gonna talk about it more as I unbox it. So I got their soy cuticle oil, and both of these are 15 ml. So starting off with the cuticle oil, I've been eyeing Makartt's cuticle oil for like some time now on their website, and during their 50% off flash sale was the perfect time to get it. So I finally got it. I actually like it, and I'll tell you why. Because like for some reason this cuticle oil doesn't have like that oily feel to it as normal cuticle oil, and I have mentioned this in like a few other videos that I don't like to feel oily. I have oily skin, so it's kind of annoying, you know, so I just don't like to feel oily. So yeah, I did like the cuticle oil. And then also like once you put it on, I feel like you don't really have to rub it in, it just kind of soaks in your skin. So yeah, I did like that cuticle oil. And then for the peel off base coat, this didn't have any instructions. Usually it would tell you how many like coats to add or how many layers and what to like. It didn't come with any of that, so I was kind of confused. Well, not really confused, I was just uncertain on how many layers to do, and so I just went in with one layer of this very thin, and I cured it just like you would a regular base coat. That was one thing I wasn't really sure about. This consistency of this peel off base coat is just like a base coat, and while applying this, I kind of felt like there was nothing really like oily or like nothing rubbery about the texture of it to make the nails pop off, if that makes sense. Because as you know, we use the cuticle oil method, and what makes it pop off is the oily surface. Like the product doesn't really get attached too much. And then we have the UNT peel off base coat, which is water based. Those are obvious base coats, but for this one it just kind of felt like a regular base coat. Honestly, first impressions, I don't think it's gonna work, but I'll let you guys know at the end of the video if it worked for me. So once I was done adding on the layer, I did go ahead and cure for 30 seconds. And now to the nail tips. Also during their 50% off flash sale, I did go ahead and get some of these nail tips as well. They did send me some in a PR package, I just haven't got to yet. I do believe it's the full cover, but as you guys know, Makartt has recently launched 2 different types of nail tips. They have the half cover square just like I have, and these are C-curve. They also have the full cover square and I believe XXL, so go ahead and check those out if you are interested. The sizes go from 0 to 11, so you get 12 different sizes. Once I finish picking out all of my sizes, I'm going to be using my Kiara Sky Stick It nail glue to apply them. One thing I did notice about these nail tips are that they ran kind of big. So like the nail tips I would usually use for my pointer finger, I had to go a little bit higher in nail size, because as most of you already know, the way nail sizes work are the bigger the number, the smaller the nail tip is. And when I first started, that always confused me when picking out my nail sizes, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. So once I got all of them on, I am going to clip them down, and of course as always, I clip my thumb down just a little bit shorter than the rest of my nails. For the other 4 nails, I'm just going to be clipping off the number. To me, just clipping off the number kind of give it more of a crisper shape instead of trying to file the free edge with these long nails. So now I'm going to be taking my nail drill and my sanding band to remove the shine from just the nail tips. I don't know why I did this for this video, but most likely it was for aesthetic purposes. And plus I am doing some polygel nails, so I don't know, like this video was done a few days, well like a week ago. And so yeah, I just went ahead and removed the shine from all of my nail tips, and now I'm going to be going in with my application. The color polygel I'm going to be using is the Bloom Polygel, which came in the Makartt Your Nail Art box for the month of May, and this is what it looks like. I also have some Fimo slices. I remember that I had these. I was gonna order some from Amazon and like wait until I got it to do this nail design, but luckily I remembered that I had some. I did have all of my like fruit slices picked out here because a while ago I was gonna do like an encapsulated fruit set, but I'm just gonna be using these strawberry slices. And then I also have more of these Fimo slices that came with the other ones, so if I do have to pick out more of these strawberry slices, I'll just separate these off camera, which I actually did have to. So yeah, let's get into it. So for this design, this was going to be my original design for my Makartt Your Nail Art box. As you guys know, well, if you've seen that video, I did mention that I had a video before the one that I did the beach theme. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave it up here in the cards. Go ahead and check it out. But yeah, this was my original video. I did want to do something else because since the box was mostly like beach theme, I felt like it would only be right to do like a beach summer inspired set. So I did go ahead and switch up the videos, and I wanted to save this one for like a separate video. So this is what today's video is gonna be on. So I went ahead and did my pinky off camera just because I kind of felt like it was like a trial and error type of thing, and I added too much polygel, so I'm just going to show you a little bit better on the rest of the nails. But as you can see here, I'm putting a very thin layer of this bloom color down, and I'm only getting it just to cover like the surface. I'm not making it thick at all. And I'm taking this red gel polish from Makartt. I'm going to be placing little small dots on here just to kind of make it look like a pink swirl. And this design was not created by me. I was looking for inspiration on Pinterest, and I came across this design like right after I swatched the colors of polygel after unboxing it, and I felt like this pink color would look so perfect with it, so that's why I did this design with this color. But as you can see, I just placed some dots on the uncured polygel, and taking a dotting tool, I'm just gonna swirl it around and make it how I like. Once I'm satisfied, I do take my polygel brush and just kind of reshape the polygel so that I don't have any hanging off of the sides. And now, while the polygel is still wet, I do take my tweezers and just place a few of the strawberry slices onto the nail. I try not to overcrowd the nail, just enough to make it look like, just so it's like even and it looks good. Once I'm satisfied with it, I do go ahead and cure for 30 seconds in my light. And I just wanted to mention, I did sleep with my air on last night, so if I sound stuffy, that is why. Just don't mind it. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and continue adding on my fruit slices. I did have to cut this one to make it fit on the sides. So once I have that cured, the key to this design, to make it look sort of like the flower milk bath nails, I'm gonna go over it with a little bit more polygel just to make it look like it's inside of the polygel and kind of float into the top. It kind of reminds me of like the pink drink from Starbucks. Like I've always wanted to recreate those nails and like do that type of design, so this was so perfect. I did kind of incorporate this into this nail set. So yeah, I'm just taking little small beads, and for some of them I do cover it a lot more than the others, but you don't want to cover it too much, otherwise it won't give off the effect of the fruit slices like inside of the drink or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I just did that, and this is how it looks. It's looking really nice. I'm really satisfied with it. As you can see, it's very thin compared to the pinky. I was scared about the pinky because I do have to encapsulate, and to encapsulate, you want to encapsulate enough so that you don't foul into the design, or in this case my fruit slices. So yeah, I was kind of nervous to foul that one, but yeah, I'm just doing the same thing for my pointer finger. As you can see, I'm going down with a very thin layer, and I'm just going to be repeating the same exact steps for this nail as I did on my middle finger. So I'm finishing up this nail, and as you can see, it looks the same as the other nail, except I do think I added a little bit less of the red gel polish for the swirl. So this is what all of my nails are looking like. I did do my thumb off camera, but basically I did the same exact thing. It looks a little bit lumpy, but like I said, we do have to encapsulate, and once I encapsulate and file, that will solve all of my problems. So for this nail, I'm going to be doing a 3D ice cream cone. So yeah, get ready, like get prepared. This is one of my longer videos. I will try to edit some of it down though, just because I don't want it to be that long. But for this ice cream nail, I'm going to be starting off with that same color and just adding a little bit at the nail bed area and kind of blending it down, just fixing up the cuticle area. I'm not really worrying about it too much because it will get covered up. I'm pretty sure there's other ways to do this design, but this is the way I decided to do it. The only reference I have is the inspo picture I got from Pinterest, so that's just the way that I felt like it was done or whatever. So I did go ahead and cure that, and now I'm gonna be taking this Snatched Polygel kit from Makartt. This was one of their polygel kits they launched during Christmas, and I'm gonna be taking this brown color called Blended. It was such a pretty brown, and I'm gonna be using this for my cone. This nail was kind of hard. I wasn't sure how to do it, but I just start off by putting a lot of the polygel at the tip of the nail. And the way I decided to do it is that I'm not gonna be like curing this, because of course I have to add like the little lines in it for the cone to give it that cone look. So I did place a little bit more of a thicker bead for this one, and I'm gonna try my best to get it even as possible without having to cure or without having too many like dips and lumps in it. Also, while doing this, I do make sure to keep in my sides. For the top, I'm just gonna kind of ombre it down so that I can get that smooth, ombre it up so that I can get that smooth transition. And so yeah, this was the best I could get it. The more I kept messing with it, the more it just kept moving. I think the more you mess with it, also since it being on your nail bed, it does get a little bit softer because of that heat. So I'm just giving it some last minute smoothers. I'm not sure if that's the word to call it, but I'm just kind of smoothing it out a little bit more. And this is what the nail is looking like. It's pretty smooth for the most part. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and create the texture for my cone. And to create the lines, I am going to be using my X-Acto knife, and I've reached for this clear dip powder. I'm going to be dipping my X-Acto knife into the dip powder, and this is just to make sure that the polygel doesn't stick to it. You know how when you're making like biscuits or you're making a pizza, you know how you need that extra dough sprinkled on the table so that the ball of dough doesn't get sticky? That's basically what I meant by dipping my X-Acto knife into the dip powder. So after every little indent I create, I do dip it back into the dip powder just so that it doesn't stick, and it worked very, very nice. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this all over the nail. And then once I'm done doing the lines that way, I go back in and create them this way. Right along here, this nail started to look a little bit weird. I felt like it was a little bit too thick. And also I felt like the picture was done with acrylic powder, so that's why the picture looks a little bit nicer than mine. But I'm not going to compare it because obviously we're two different artists. But yeah, so this design, it kind of looked a little bit thick to me. So off camera, I did do a little bit of work to it. With my brush, I did like kind of flatten it out so that it wasn't too thick. I did go ahead and cure that, and then I also like filed my nails. I'm not sure if I did it here or I'm gonna show it in a few seconds. Okay, so yeah, this is the part where I file it. I did go ahead and cure that. I wiped it off with some ice purple alcohol, and since I did think the nail was a little bit too thick, I did go ahead and just kind of like flatten out the texture of it. I was scared of this nail because I didn't know if this was gonna mess it up or make it look better, but I was willing to take that risk. And so yeah, I'm just filing it down just a little bit so the nail is not too thick. And I think this was actually the best way because If I cured that brown polygel and went in with more polygel, then created the lines, it would have been even more thicker. So I think this was the best way to do it. This is what it looks like. I'm not sure if I like it this way better. I do like how it's not as thick, but I'm not sure if I like it better this way. But yeah, so this is how the nail is looking. I did go ahead and wipe off the rest of the nails to remove that dust from me filing it. And I'm gonna go in and try to, okay, so yeah, I thought I was gonna go in with the ice cream, but I actually pulled out my clear from a cart. This clear is the best clear in my opinion. It's very clear and it works very good. It's very stiff if you like stiff polygel. I know I said that in every Makartt polygel video, but yeah, this consistency is so bomb. And I do believe I'm just going to show like one nail since this video is a little bit longer. I did want to show you how I encapsulate it, and of course I did this for all of my other smoothie strawberry nails. Yeah, so I went ahead and did all of that off camera. I encapsulated the rest of my nails. I went ahead and filed off camera, and I actually like the filing of these nails. I do feel like I was able to get an apex of these, and I think they look very nice. So this is what basically my foundation is gonna look like. And now it's time to create my 3D ice cream cone. So this is my first time trying to attempt to do the ice cream cone. I know Long Hair Pretty Nails recently did like a recreation set of an ice cream cone, and it just made me want to do it even more. But for all of the ice cream nails I see, they are done with acrylic, so I think that's where the trickiness kind of came into play. I feel like it's easier with acrylic because once it's like setting up, it kind of hardens by itself and you don't have to keep reshaping it. And then also once it starts to dry, you can just kind of start to poke the holes in it as it's drying, and then it kind of set up by itself. But with polygel, like, it doesn't dry until you cure it. So I think that's where the trickiness came into play. But as you can see here, I'm just kind of poking holes in it with toothpick. Well, this is actually a cuticle pusher that came in the box with the peel off base coat, and poking the holes in it was like the way I've seen it done. Instead, people do it with their brush, but it just kind of gives it like that scoop effect of the ice cream. I'm adding some on the side just to kind of make it look like it's dripping. Then I also added another one off camera on the other side. I went in with a little bit of the fruit slices just to kind of give it more of like an ice cream cone look. I hands down want to try this again with acrylic powder. I feel like it would be a lot easier. But yeah, so this is what it's looking like. I liked it a lot, so I went ahead and cured that into place. And now to add something a little bit extra to this design, I feel like this is where the minutes really start to like rack up and make the video a little bit longer, because this took me so long to do even though it's so simple. So I pulled out my gel liners from Nails by Dev. Recently I've been wanting to get into like really cartoonish like nail art, like the really cute nail art I see all the time. So I ordered these like a few weeks ago, and the colors I'm going to be using are white, black, and red. This little nail art is also in like the inspo pictures, so of course I felt like it was a perfect opportunity to try to recreate this. So I'm starting off with the red, and this is going to be the tongue of the little face character I'm going to be making. And for some of this, it looks sped up only a little bit, but I promise you it's sped up a lot. It's just that I was going like so slow trying to get these lines straight, to the point where it looks like I don't have it sped up at all. But for some of them I will slow it down just so that you can see exactly how slow I'm going, and I feel like you'll be able to tell which parts I do have sped up and which parts I don't. But now I'm just going in to create the eyes, and the eyes are going to be close together but like long ovals. This is my first time like actually working with these. I did do an unboxing on TikTok, so that's why these are already open, but these are my first time working with them, and these are so good to work with. I do think these are better than gel polish because like the texture of it, like the consistency is like really thick, almost like a gel paint, but it's not too thick to where like it bulks up the nail. I just feel like these are so perfect, and honestly I see why her artwork comes out so good, because these are so easy to work with. And the brush I'm using is also from Nails by Dev. These two paired together is so perfect. I do recommend these gel paints to you guys if you are interested in nail art, and the brushes as well. I've been using the brushes for a little bit longer than the gel paints. I really do love her brushes. I'm able to get like the really smooth, really fine detailed lines like I've always been trying to achieve. So yeah, I do recommend her brushes as well. After every color that I use, I do wipe my brush off camera. I did go ahead and cure those. I do believe I flash cured it or cured for 30 seconds, I'm not sure. But this part is now, I think, was the hardest part of all, to outline it, because when you're outlining you have to get these lines like very straight. Otherwise I feel like your design will look messy. Just an example, if I was a little bit messy with the red for the tongue that I did, I can easily outline it with the black and just kind of overlap it so that it hides any of the imperfections. But I feel like with the black, like, it really has to be spot on and very neat. So as you can see, I just did the mouth, and now I'm going to be outlining the eyes, and at the eyeballs do the eyebrows. This was actually very fun. The closer I got to being done with this little nail art on the nail, it reminded me of Patrick from SpongeBob. I'm not sure if that's what the original creator was going for, but that's exactly what it reminded me of. And I thought it was so cute because this color is the perfect color for Patrick. I think I slowed this part down so you guys can see how shaky my hands are. Like, it was like, it's always so terrible when doing nail art. My hands are just so shaky. But so yeah, I explained everything, and like I said, this nail art was very fun. And I'm just gonna go ahead and continue outlining it, adding in the eyeballs, doing the eyebrows, and I'm just gonna let you guys enjoy the rest of this process. If you are still watching, I do want to say thank you so much. If you haven't liked the video already, go ahead and smash that like button, and also if you are enjoying it so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. It would really help me out a lot. Also, drop a comment if you're feeling generous. I would very much appreciate it, and try to like and reply to all of you guys' comments. And so I said I was gonna let you guys enjoy, but I do remember why I added this part in. So for the eyes, I didn't like how it looked. It looked like too big. So when I wiped it off, I wanted to show you guys how easy they wipe off. It was so easy. It didn't smudge at all. And especially with it being black, I was so scared to wipe it off because I didn't want to mess up this design or smudge it into the white. But as you guys see, it worked out very good. And I just went in and added the eyes with my dotting tool instead. It worked out a lot better. I did go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds, and now I'm going over it with a matte top coat, just like the picture. And so once I was done adding on the matte top coat, before I cured it, you kind of see how it looks shiny. So basically this is how it would look with a shiny top coat. I was actually kind of liking how it looked, but I did want to see how the matte top coat would look. I like them both. I did take pictures of both shiny and matte, but basically this is how the nail set turned out. And I'm still going to be trying out the cuticle oil, so I'm just going to be putting it over my cuticles and rubbing that in. So yeah, it's safe to say that I really love this cuticle oil. Like I keep mentioning, I feel like I repeat myself a lot, but you'll get used to it if you've been here for a while. I do love this cuticle oil. I like that it doesn't feel oily. I like that it doesn't feel like very oily. I still feel like it nourishes and does the job though. But yeah, this is how the nails turned out. I really love them a lot. I do feel like my 3D ice cream could have been a lot better, but I do like how the strawberry smoothie pink drink nails look. I'm not sure what to call them, but I do like how they look. I also do like the little character art I did. Is so cute. Like I said, it reminds me of Patrick. I was really impressed with the nail art. So for the peel off base coat, it didn't really work for me. I had a hard time popping the nails off. I do like to save all of my nail designs, but unfortunately I did have to clip all of them down. Even though it was hard to get off, the only one I managed to save was the smiley face one because I really liked it. And after taking pictures, I did remember how it looked before I cured on my matte top coat. So once I was done taking pictures of it, I did add on a glossy top coat, and I did take a few pictures and videos. And then after looking at it, I did want to turn it back matte, so I did do that off camera, even though those were the only two I'm going to show, but I couldn't decide which one I like better. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Make sure if you want to shop anything from Makartt, make sure to use my discount code, which is always linked down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.